Just one. Okay, right.
So first two things, remember and understand are theoretical. We teach the meaning, how to remember and understand, but applying is learning by experience.
Learning by experience. Very good. Alright, first please everybody. Okay. So this is something like that. Learning by experience. You can just ask the students, can you just identify the kind of a pollution where you had been to? Alright, suppose ma'am said the traffic, what kind of pollution that you experienced over there? Right, okay, you just, exactly, you just went to a particular place where you found that it's a kind of water bodies are there, kind of a pollution. Right, source of a pollution. That is the child, as he said, rightly said, learning by experience. The kind of things that they all had been to, they all have witnessed, and they are just trying to demonstrate it or just trying to speak to us. Okay, so this is very important, and then we are coming to analyze. Look, we are going from lower level to the higher level. Alright, immediately I cannot say that you just come and create. Create in the sense, design a process of a solution for the pollution. I cannot immediately say. First, remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and then creating. Creating is the very highest version of this outcome. Because creating doesn't come to everyone else. Very few they create. Fine. So it is the roadmap we make and then the final result. Okay. So here, as we are going with the analyze, because these days, dear educators, we have been getting the questions compare and contrast. Right? In the character, there are two characters. You will just find it out, like compare and contrast the characters when and where they were exposed to the same kind of situation and how they try to overcome. Are you getting my point? These days, we are getting this kind of a competency-based questions, which are mostly based on this analysis. Compare and contrast. Alright? So in compare and contrast, the water pollution, similarly the air pollution, what is that kind of pollution? Noise pollution, right? So here you are not very much exposed to the noise pollution. Fine, but the construction work is going on and you are exposed to what kind of pollution? Fine. But if you talk about the Salsivian area, if someone of you might be coming from that place, or like the Galavian area, then we are very much exposed to the noise pollution as well, the honking of the horn. Alright, so those are the problems that we all have been very much facing, right? So this is what it is very important to analyze how the child is analyzing. Similarly, your questions should be based on. Take two characters, alright, take two events, allow them, ask them, frame the questions, how to, compare and contrast. Alright, look, we have been discussing right now in 2026. Fine. Back I tell you in 2010-11, fine, when I joined, one of our supervisors, she just called me and showed me this particular paper. Can you please just go through and suggest which books shall I prescribe for my cousin who is in standard 4th in a school that is in California, US. Okay, I was completely taken aback that it was asked, what is the problem figure? What is the solution figure? What is the poetic device? Alright, who is the protagonist? Okay, what is the antithesis? What is the oxymoron? I was completely taken aback. standard fourth kit is trying to define all the components of a particular structure. Are you getting my point? Now look at this. A child in standard 4 who is developing his ideas by segregating all those kind of things, okay, by the time he comes to standard 10, you will find that an excellent presentation that we will be doing. A very good interpretation as well. He can very well define, this is the problem, what should be my immediate solution. Now you will find that those are the kids right now, they are going for a startup. Yes or no? Because startup is right now a very common term these days. And to find out or to develop that kind of skill within the children, we need to give them a kind of a problem figure. Or the child, if he is trying to find out that problem figure in his surrounding, then probably he is coming up with a kind of concept. Yes or no? You children must be doing as well. So once the problem is there, it is the child should be very tempted enough to find a solution as well. To analyze what it was and what it is going to be. And now we are coming to the create. It is the highest version of Bloom's taxonomy. Alright. See, Bloom's taxonomy, of course, we have been discussing, but when we are applying it, how many of us do keep it in our mind that yes, I have to focus on Bloom's taxonomy? But it has to be. You will find that in Bloom's taxonomy, almost all the time you are not taking what, when, which, where, you are not taking like this. You are taking like this. Suppose you have been to that particular place, you came across this particular problem. If you were there at that point of time, what would have been your solution? So it is a kind of a case-based one. Mostly, if you are taking the Bloom's taxonomy into consideration. And that brings a kind of an open-ended question for our children. I hope I'm very clear to you. This is a bit of theoretical, so there's nothing much I can give you the demonstration. It's a bit of theoretical, right? So here in create, if our topic is pollution, then what would be the question in creating level? As I told you, design a structure or design a plan where you can bring a solution to this pollution as well. Are you getting my point? Right? Now these days, we all have been dealing with the robots. Right? A child stood up and said that I just want to create a robot which will help my mother in his household chores. Because I have been watching my mother is doing a lot. And everyone is not around her. So one can actually assist. The child has actually observed the problem when my mother is going through and is trying to. Okay, so there are certain kind of verbs that we will go with in like what? Bloom's taxonomy. Very quickly, do you want a kind of biopic for a while? You want a break for 2 to 3 minutes? 5 minutes, ma'am? Sensitive, ma'am?
Yes.
Give them a 5 minutes break and then we are coming. Because we have been sitting in there since 2 hours. So you go for a 5 minutes. The cognitive domain that is related to which one? That is the knowledge. Then we are coming to the affective domain. So what do you mean by affective domain? It's not effective. It's affective. So what's the meaning of affective domain? It is related to emotions. Alright. Your hand-eyes coordination as well. That is, like your affective domain. Right? So summary to it includes objectives that emphasizes interest, attitudes and values and development of appreciation and adequate adjustment. That is what called as affective domain. Right? If the child is not appreciating something, if the child is not giving his own remarks, most we find that probably the kind of learning that we are just trying to provide is not 100% getting successful. Right? The child need to appreciate, the child need to understand, the child need to understand the way emotion that is attached with it. Alright? And then we are coming to the psychomotor domain. Alright, psychology, psychomotor, that is related to the upbringing. Right? So what is written over here is concerned with physical, motor or manipulation skills, handwriting, map, diagram, drawing, setting up experiments, etc. are examples of psychomotor domain, where the child is trying to create something. That is mostly happening under which one? Psychomotor. Alright, so there are three mostly we need to understand. One is cognitive domain, that is related to the knowledge, experience that the child is getting. Then affective domain, alright, the emotions that is attached with it. And then the psychomotor domain, it is almost the product that he is creating with the eyes and hand coordination as well. Okay, coming next. Now here, there are certain kind of verbs which is very much required while we are just writing the goals. Fine. So here is complete taxonomy of instructional outcomes at a glance. In cognitive domain, that is the mental activity, creating, compose, organize, originate, design, invent. Those are the words that we will be taking. So far as affective domain is concerned, characterizing, revise, require, rate, avoid, assist, manage, like this. Psychomotor domain, that is the physical activity, originating. Just go for it. You can take the words from here. Okay. This is the cognitive, affective, psychomotor, and competence level of. Is it like cognitive one or we have the answers? We will discuss. Okay. Next.
Third one. Measure the time period of a simple pendulum using a stopwatch.
Okay. Measure.
Limit the intake of carbonate drinks after learning about their acidic nature.
Okay.
So first you should apply.
He's trying to remember it.
Yeah. And after you will do it. I think it's complicated.
So the answer can be both as well because it's not particularly fixed to one.
Related to hydrogen is
Okay, you are distinguished. Fine. Okay, we need to go as well. Okay, next. And 7, I think 7.
Okay, 7. Limit the intake of carbonated drinks after learning about their acidic nature.
Okay. It is effective. This is effective.
Then number 8. Plan a strategy to deal with the situation created in the neighborhood by natural disaster.
Plan. Design. Plan. That is psycho. Yes. Next that means creating. Where it is. Okay. Fine. The domain is cognitive and the competency is creative.
And number 9. Compare and contrast the characters of the drama.
Cognitive and competency is analyzing. Competency is analyzing.
Number Number 10. Distinguish between line and line segment.
So I is remembering line and line segment. So it's cognitive and competency is understanding. Okay.
Number 11. Calculate the value of one division on a given thermometer.
Calculate the value of one division on a given thermometer. So it's cognitive and competency is applied. Competency is applied.
Number 12. Prepare an acid-base indicator from the extract of colored flowers.
The way it is affected and then value is all about science.
Number 13. Relate the common features of democratic government and secular form of governance.
And the competencies analyzed.
Number 14. Propose a plan to stop using single-use plastics after learning of their non-biodegradable nature.
Effective and the competency is evaluating and
Number 15. Select the correct statement from the given sentences.
cognitive and the competency is evaluating. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just before that, there is one thing that it was before the one here, characteristics of a good learning outcome. Fine. What should be the characteristics of a good learning outcome? And the handout which has been given to us, it has been told to us that it should be in a very smart way. Okay? What is the smart way? A learning outcome should be smart. S-M-A-R-T. Alright? I just want someone of you to come and read what is this smart stand for. Could you come and read?
A characteristics of a good learning outcome. A learning outcome should be smart, which means S for specific says exactly what the learner will be able to do, that is focus on student behavior. The next one is M, which is measurable, can be observed by the end of the training session. A is attainable for the participant within scheduled time and specified condition. R is relevant to the needs of the participant and the organization. T is time frame, which is achievable by the end of the training session. So that is a full form.
Look, it's very scientifically designed as well. We cannot go according to our ways, right? So the specific goal must be, alright, what exactly I just want to tell the child. Fine. Second thing, it should be measurable. Fine. Here he says that can be observed by the end of the training session where it is going, how far it is, what would be. Fine. And then here he says that attainable. The goal which I am setting. Fine. Dear children, this time your goal is to score 100 out of 100. Is it attainable? Is it attainable? Just I would like to tell you, as we were having the conversation with your principal ma'am helped us to take a round of this classrooms and showed us, look, what our chairman sir has said, that each child must ensure that scores 60%. It is written in all your classrooms, I believe. Okay, so the goal is very much attainable or not? It is attainable. Okay, imagine if it was 100%, then it is completely laughable as well. It's absurd. Not everyone is here to score attainable. Okay. And then here is like relevant. Sometimes we set the, certain kind of goals which are very much of a hypothetical. Fine, not very much relevant. It should be a relevant one. Look, we are here from different department. Okay, sir is from painting, someone is from mathematics, someone is from science. Like, what should be our attainable one? Okay, end of the session, I want the child should able to design a structure. At least design a structure. End of the session, I want the child should learn the basic calculations as well. End of the session, I just want the child should actually identify the parts of speeches. Right? So it is something like that, what is attainable? Okay? Something should be very much relevant. Alright? Otherwise it will be very much hypothetical. Okay? Then I am coming to time frame. What kind of a time that is required? Fine. The MEP says the children, we have 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3. That is how? Yes or no? 5, that is pre-primary, and then carrying that we are saying up to standard 1 or 2 or 3, that is 5. Okay, at that point of time the child should actually remember certain calculations, certain tables, right? So within a time frame. Okay, so time frame is very much required, achievable by the end of the training session. Okay, so we are just coming to the next one with some examples like, look, is it visible the picture a little bit? Yes. Alright, look, first one is the specific. The goal is very much specific. Look at the picture also. Pick the jackpot. Okay?
21st century competencies. The first is creativity and innovation. Fourth is collaboration. Fifth is communication. Sixth, citizenship and character. And the last, computational thinking.
Alright. Now, here it says like 21st century competencies. Okay. Was it not there before? Was it not there before? Collaborative, then critical thinking, capacity, all were there. Then why is it required now? Earlier it was more teacher-centered.
21st century competencies bring out more in a child. Like now they are learning how to actually solve problems. We are not just going by textbook. We are giving them the opportunity to, learning by doing. We are doing that.
Yes. I think totally it is very, very important. These days. If we are today here, I think these goals are creativity and innovation. So far as Bloom's taxonomy is concerned, creativity is the highest form. Yes or no? Alright. But so far as the 21st century skill is concerned, okay, it is an essential component. Don't you think so? Creativity and innovation. Okay? Had there not been creativity and innovation, then probably you and I would not have talked about Elon Musk every now and then. Look at the person. Alright, where our thought ends and that person stands out. Okay? So, it is something like that. Innovation is very, very important. Fine. Like once, I hope I'm audible to all of you. It was our Honorable Prime Minister who was delivering IT plus IT equal to IT. IT plus IT equal to IT. Sounds pretty odd, right? Okay. What he said, IT first of all, that is information technology that we all understand. Information technology plus then IT Indian talent. Because in most of our graduates are very much focused. We are just addressing the Indian diaspora, right? So information technology plus Indian talent equal to Indian tomorrow. That again IT. You are getting my point? Information technology plus Indian talent is equal to Indian tomorrow. Fine. So if you just take a look, we are the number one in the payment interface. Yes or no? Right? So digital interface that we are just going on with our payment, most of the nations, they are just trying to take this one. Alright? No more we are carrying the cash. Yes. So you see, now when Visa card came, okay, it was by US. They all were telling that yes, we are the best innovators. But now, when we are just going with the digital payment, number of countries that they are right now adopting this. Very recently, it was like one person who paid in Nepal. He paid by using PhonePe or something, GPay, Google Pay, and it was paid, and it was also written like in how much he paid in Nepal currency. I hope you might have seen it, it was in news as well. Find the digital interface. So innovation is very, very important as well. That is what the 21st century skill we got to inculcate within our children. Fine. They have to take a look around their surrounding. Alright? All those objects which we are throwing is not a kind of a waste. From waste to wealth, they have to think. Yes or no? Most of our children, they all are involved in this, how to go for it. So here it is, creativity and innovation is very, very essential. Okay. Then critical thinking and problem solving.
We will get the problem solution. That many times we are getting the ways how to come out from the problems. So it is a good way to find out so many ways to solve the problems through the critical thinking. So definitely once we will go through this, we are not having that much stress. How I will solve the problem, how we get out from the problem.
You need to be very creative. Like I was just watching a podcast wherein this was about the army. So there was like they had to give signals. So they had actually purchased a watch which had this laser light kind of thing. So now the challenge was basically the enemy should not get to know that they are coming up. So how do they inform their their friends or other people? So they use this technique wherein they just light their watch because the communication was not working. So they had some different idea to it. So problem solving is, you are just being very creative and thinking out of all the different ways they can.
Okay, now the papers for other teachers who are not answering. Okay. My son?
Confidence.
Like some confidence. Alright. So okay. Now I tell you we have been discussing this is a kind of a term problem solving. Okay. But at the same time, if you just take a look, this is very, very essential among all the children to develop. let me just tell you one thing, that some days ago I was watching the founder of Lenskart. Who is the founder of Lenskart? Okay, so even I also remember the title, but some Bansal. Okay, some Bansal. No. So it's from Lenskart. Okay. Pius Bansal, right? Pius Bansal. He was just having kind of interaction with the interviewer, and he said that yes, I want you to see Lenskart as a kind of software develop company, all right, software company. But the interviewer said it is it is manufacturing glasses. Why would we think that it is a kind of a software company, right? And he said that we are coming up with a kind of a different kind of a product. A product is that now as people across the country, they all are going with the classes as a smart one. You don't require much to take your telephone and then see who has called you and then call back or something like that. Alright? It is just a kind of a one button. Okay? You come to know who the person is. You just start interacting as well. You don't require anything. Fine? So we are developing in that. Right? So it is the CEO of Anthropic. Yesterday what he said, after some days you will find that in the mobile phone there are no applications that you will find. It's only the AI learning. Are you getting my point? Okay. When Steve Jobs was alive, in one of the interviews, he said, could you see his when he came up with the iPod, a very small one, okay, and he said, look at the gel pen, and then there is also a pocket inside a pocket. So why that pocket is? So he picked up that iPod and he sold to the world, right? So it is something like that, how you are thinking in a very different way. Okay, and then Elon Musk is coming up with a kind of a company called as a boring company. Have you ever heard about it? It's a boring company. Okay, boring company in the sense that it's not like bored, B-O-R-E. Alright, it's a bore, B-O-A-R. You're getting my point? It's a boring company, so they all are just trying to develop so that the speedway communication, how to go from one place to another. Okay, it's a different version of this bullet train. Alright, so where they all have been thinking as well. Okay, so problem solving is very much required among our children. How? And how shall we develop this one? How shall we develop the problem solving skill among our children? Alright, what else? In which way you can develop the problem solving skills? Okay. Alright. So what the handout says, as I read, the handout says that do not be just limited to a particular assignment. Give them different kind of assignments. Fine. Allow them to face it. Fine. All the teachers will definitely give a different kind of assignment related to their topic. Fine. Allow the child and check in which way the child is coming up with a kind of a solution. Fine. By assigning different kind of topics, maybe the children will definitely come up with a kind of solution. Just for a fun fact, every time it is reminding me this quickly happen. Okay, just for a fun fact, in my class, just I asked children, can you just make this duster a smart one? Yes, just make this duster a smart one. I just want a smart dust. Fine. So everything is getting smarter, right? Yes or no? A multitasking. Fine. So I just want like this is smart dust I want. What do you mean like compute? Okay. Citizenship. Now it speaks about your belongingness. That your identity. Alright? And the way you are carrying yourself. Yes, ma'am. Talking about from a child's point of view. Mostly our discussion and debate is from a child's point of view. Then how he is going to demonstrate all those things that he is learning. Yes, sir, you want to do
I think citizenship, a feeling of belongingness,
okay.
that is unity in diversity. Having come from different diverse culture, we should create that environment of familiar environment, family environment, whether it is a school or a business organization, anywhere. To manage people, they have some, they must be emotionally attached to your boss or the top, the leader. That is, I think,
In a broader sense, these days specifically, I'm not talking about this thing. I think at this point of time that we all are discussing over here, we are sitting in a very beautiful ambience, having mic, having like a cup of tea, and we are discussing. Just think a while, in some part of the world, what's going on? Alright? Just think about one of the most like powerful countries of the world. Alright? You just think it is something like that we are behaving beyond the humanity as well. Right? Some part, even we are thinking like Dubai, one of the very safest and the most luxurious countries, places, cities of the world. Like you see people are just flying from there. And if I just talk to you all, is war very much essential or inevitable for world peace? What would be your answer? Is war inevitable for world peace? Inevitable means it's essential. Do you think can we bring peace to this earth by war? Look at the innocence, what the mistake they have actually done. It is something like that on the table which we are not negotiating. Fine, if we are not convincing each other that we are humans first, Earthlings first, then the Martian next. Alright? Then probably we are showing our shoulders. Okay, anyways, that is beyond the content. I am not discussing computational thinking.
Sir, I would like to give my 2 points. In Mahabharata,
Thinking. A little bit of comment on computational. Compute means calculation, basic calculative things that a child should know. Alright? What is given over here? A rooster sits on a barn and is facing west. The wind is blowing eastward at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. The rooster lays an egg. Which cardinal direction does the egg roll? You can answer. It's a kind of a divergent thing. It's a different. Alright, let's see. There is an answer or something, otherwise. How many ways can you make pen? This is all like diversion kind of a thinking, various ways that we are praying for. mathematics, the students are asked to find out how many leaves are there on the tree. Here the process invented by the student is more important than the product, the number of leaves. So it's not required like how many leaves are there, but in which way they all are just trying to find out. Okay, that is actually our objective should be the process. Fine. As who said it is? I took 1,000 ways to invent the bulb. Thomas Edison, when he was asked, so how about the 1,000 failures? Oh, what he said? Is that 1,000 ways to reach to that particular point? Are you a creative thinker? There are 6 eggs in the basket. 6 people each take one of the eggs. How can it be that one egg is left in the basket? Yeah, that's what it's for me also first time for you. There are 6 eggs in the basket. One of the eggs. So 6 people do it. Right? So 5 left. The last person took the basket with the last egg still inside. Anyways, you keep on thinking that one, how to have a kind of creative learning opportunities. What he says, through games, computing, hands-on tasks, questions, experiments, debates, discussions. So within those kind of things, we can create creative thinking and problem solving. If a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is an empty desk is a sign of an empty mind? If a cluttered desk, clutter means what? Positive. Are we creating some kind of noise? Desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is an empty desk is a sign of. Is what? Name for me also. Okay. What skills should education system foster? Crowded, noisy. Yes. Yeah. Cluttered means noisy, right? So if it is cluttered means that is a cluttered. I mean that one. What is an empty desk is called as an empty one? Okay, anyways, you keep on thinking. So what skills should education system foster? Technical skills? Somebody to read.
Technical skills, behavioral skills, social skills, creativity and critical thinking skills.
What is coming under behavioral skills?
Self-confidence, energy, perseverance. Perseverance.
Now you see, just I came across a kind of a video. A person from Haryana, he was there in US, and he said, sometimes I'm thinking to switch over back to my parent country. Why? Because I'm here since last 5 years. I'm here at my home. Nobody knows who all are there around. There are people from different kind of countries, they have come settled over here. I don't interact, they don't interact with me. Unlike my country, I don't find people are just fighting for some kind of a essential need. everything is there, people are getting all those kind of things, right? There is no riot, okay? There is no such kind of celebrations around. People are coming, having a fun and then going on. So nothing is going on. But in my country, unless I find that yes, there is a riot, I feel like the day is not completed. Every time come across there is some kind of a problem or other which is happening. Are you getting my point? Now, what my country is all those kind of problems I won't say, all those kind of opportunities I would like to say. Right? Our problems are happening because I am there to bring a kind of solution to. Are you getting my point? They have actually upgraded themselves to a certain kind of extent. You look at their pictures, you will never find that unlike Indian movies there is some kind of romance. You will find there is a special effect. Mostly going with the science. We are going with a different kind of, little bit of a drama, little bit of a leg pulling. Alright, there is a kind of happy union. Okay, these are all our Indian cinemas. So out of the society we bring the content. Out of the society they bring the content. Are you getting my point? So my existence I try to create out of my surrounding as well. All I would say, no different kind of things would happen, then who is there to stop me? There will happen. So I believe with education, nowadays, existence is possible in a better way. Without education, I think probably I'm going to the primitive age again. Alright, people will develop and I will think like, what it would have. Wish I had the knowledge. Because everyone is not Sadguru. Are you getting my point? So after some days that he left education and started educating, and then he just learned so many things as well. Okay. So signal is there to switch over.
Okay, sir. Sir, here I want to add here, education, sir, one thing related to your question. Education means, sir, you know there are education, when a person is coming on the earth, automatically education starts. You are knowing that there are two types of learning is there, formal learning, non-formal learning. Formal, if you are considered a non-formal learning, without coming to school also a person can be educated. So without education, everybody is educated, maybe coming to the school or may not be coming to the school. If a village boy not going to the school, do you say that he is uneducated? He is educated. Yes, it is formal education. Means school, college, these are formal educations. Non-formal education, sitting in home also non-formal education can be done. Non-formal education can be done watching the TV, can be seeing the other children surrounding, from parents, from grandparents. Education automatically comes. By observing a person walking around you, you can be educated there also. So education is a vast term. Education cannot be a specific. Okay. So now I will come to the second part of the our teaching learning cycle. What was it? It was IP, instructional practice. So in the instructional practice, which is coming mainly pedagogies. So next after pedagogy we will go for the assessment, third part. So here we are coming the pedagogical approaches to achieve the intended learning outcomes. What are all pedagogical practices can be formulated in a general form. Many pedagogical approaches are there in the classroom we are doing. But if you keep in the formal form, they are coming as constructivist approach. First one, I will come one by one. Next one is inquiry-based learning. This must be there in our pedagogy. Next is collaborative learning, must be there in our pedagogy. Then integrative approach must be coming. Next is reflective approach. Then action-oriented learning. Then differentiated instructions. So what are the meanings? First we have to understand the meanings. Then you will think that all we are doing in the classroom. Nothing new is there. The first one is constructivist approach. What is the meaning of this constructivist approach. This is a hi-fi term, but meaning is very simple. What is, yes sir? Creativity. Any other simple term? Constructivist approach means instead of taking the instruction directly from the teacher, if a child is learning from experience, that is called as constructivist approach. Instead of taking the instruction directly from the teacher, if a child is gaining the knowledge by experience, that is called the constructivist approach. Yes, he himself is constructive, right, from the experience. Then inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning means you have from the projects, from the different activities, that is lab activities, projects, from there the child is learning. That is known as the inquiry-based learning. Then next one is collaborative learning. Everybody knows from the collaboration, from the group work, team work, that is collaborative learning. Next one is integrative approach. What is integrative? Interconnection. Integrative approach means interdisciplinary approach. Interdisciplinary. Different subjects should be interrelated. Or theoretical knowledge should be connected with the practical knowledge. That is known as the integrative approach, which is very, very important. Application. Every knowledge should be applied. Otherwise, knowledge is incomplete. Okay. Next one is reflective approach. What is the meaning of reflective approach? Child should appear assessments. Teacher, students all must get the feedback after the assessment. That should be in our learning. Reflective approach. Okay? So, reflective approach. Reflection means getting feedback from assessment.
A reflective approach can be learning outcomes.
Maybe learning outcome. It is a part of learning outcomes. Reflective approach, all the pedagogical practices are the part of the learning outcomes. Next one is action-oriented learning. That means application of your knowledge, project, lab activities. These are action-oriented. Next one is differentiated instructions. What is differentiated instructions? Yes?
The instructions are not same for everyone. Slow learners are there. There are
Instructions not for different. Need-based instructions. Different kind of children are there. Each of them different instructions should be there.
If the student is very smart, then we have to give them extra work, like extra according to their competencies.
Right.
But if there is slow learner, then we have to use different approaches.
Yes. So these are all different pedagogical learning outcomes. Now, everybody, each of you, please write one or two approach what you are doing in your classroom. Please mention. Suppose you are doing constructive approach. If you are doing inquiry-based approach, collaborative learning, integrated approach, where you are doing, which two approaches where you are doing in the classroom in your subject, please mention and write quickly for 1 or 2 minutes time. Take 1 or 2 minutes time and write in your paper that what you are doing in the classroom in your subject, which approaches you are going through. Okay, each one of you, do write and inform me. Collaborative learning, where you are doing that?
Yes, we are conducting some competitions with some of the children.
Yes.
Collaboration with children and we are asking them.
No, you are giving some project or some activity you have to give. Otherwise, how collaboration will be? Group activity.
Yes, exactly. This is their action-oriented.
Yes.
Action-oriented learning.
Yes.
Okay.
And differentiate instructions also.
Differentiative, madam. Differentiative instruction. What you are doing here? Differentiated instruction. You have to do something.
Yes.
What
My
you are doing?
subject is computer.
Yes.
Differentiated instructions means if one child is not getting my point in my class, then the smarter child will tell the answer, but the slow learner will not tell the answer. I will instruct the smarter child to give some examples of the question, but for the slow learner, I will instruct the slow learner to one.
I take CBS, so
Yes.
I relate to knowledge elements of trigonometric things. I ask examples related to that topic. They said or their own experiences.
Then
Then ma'am, different type of teaching,
accent to the accent and oriented.
like a drama. Then they
Yes, drama is for students. They had to conduct teachers. They had to. So I asked them, what did you plan? How did you plan? How did you organize? So they were actually doing the process. That is the collaborative. Yes, yes. And then so inquiry-based learning, wherein actually there's a project in which they will have to basically they have to make the financial statements. So what they do is they have to take the company's balance sheet, profit and loss, and then they will have to calculate the ratios and they have to make the cash flow statement. So that is an inquiry-based learning, and they were asking questions related to it.
So any
Just
collaborative
providing-
any project you are giving?
Yeah.
And inquiry based what?
Means what I thought, what the student is achieved and what he gained the knowledge
From
of
the- from the
and about the formula. Suppose he is a mathematics teacher, means all the formulas what I am applying, he knows about it or not, etc. He followed me or not.
These are the
Class, what are the different kinds of? We have already discussed. In the classroom is filled with the students who have different needs. First of all, different needs they have. Second, come from different educational background. So once ma'am said that their foundation is very weak. Maybe because parents are not that much may not be educated. So primary stage education was not there. So that's why their foundation is weak. With so education from the different educational background. You see the educated parents, children are, their foundation is different, and educated parents, their children have different foundation. So we have to deal both of them. Next, we have different attention spans and interest. This is most important. Attention spans and interest is less. That's why class is becoming indisciplined because of this category of children. They have less attention span. After 2 to 3 minutes, their concentration, lack of concentration, they will start different activities. Next, we have different language abilities. May not be understanding our language. Sometimes mother tongue is used. Mathematics teachers, science teachers, sometimes they need to use a mother tongue to explain the slow learners, needed students, because they are not able to understand always the very high English. Next is have different cultural backgrounds. Their cultural backgrounds may be different. So different category students are there in the classroom, and for them, based on them, different pedagogical practices are there. Now teaching learning strategies. What are the active learning strategies? Active learning strategies we have to, all are under pedagogical approaches you see. Active collaborative learning, case-based learning is very important. Next is field-based learning, our active learning, field-based, case-based. Next is inquiry-based learning, already we have discussed. Lab-based learning, problem-based learning, experiential learning, community-based learning. So how many here, this school, your school is arranging how many learnings, active learning strategies from out of this 8? First you are doing active collaborative learning, that is collaboration, so you are doing any activity project like this. Case-based learning, are you doing case study questions? Okay. Any case-based learning? Then field-based learning, are you taking the children to the field trip? Achha, why field-based learning is important? Why it is required? Why it helps students in which science? Field-based. I don't say. Why it is required in the learning process?
Things they read in the book, how far it is true.
It is practically yes or no, first of all.
And they will come to contact with that persons also.
Yes.
And here where they are doubts, whatever they are having. Because in the book it's only some points are written. But when they will observe the time, how labor they are doing, and result. What is the result? What are the consequences? Everything practical.
Observation skill. It increases the child's observation skill. If they are going outside the classroom, their observation skill will definitely increase. Lab-based learning. Are you having the lab in the school? Yes. Which subject labs are there? Physics, chemistry, biology. Language lab must be there. Okay. Computer lab must be there. Why lab is required? Without lab, what education will not be completed? What is the requirement of the lab? Demonstration. They can apply the language lab. Why it is required? Because theoretically they are reading and writing. Problem-based learning is always required. Give some problems, some higher order skill questions, out of the box questions, so that their skill should be increased. Next, experiential learning. Experiential learning is very, very important. So ask always in the classroom, we should ask them whatever they are dealing in their home. Based on that, question should be asked. Whatever the subject it is, I am a science background, I will ask science question. In your kitchen, what are the things you are getting? What is their nature? What is the nature? They are acidic or basic or neutral? These type of things. We should start the class with the things they have done in the home or different outside the class. That is called the experiential learning. It is required. So because they can relate the learning with the surrounding. Learning should be related with the surrounding where the child is standing. So if the learning is different, place and the learning different and surrounding is different, then they cannot correlate it. Next is community-based learning. What does it mean? Can anybody say from community-based learning? What is it? How they are involved in the society. What messages they are giving to the society, what they are receiving from the society, are they doing, their knowledge is applied to the society or not? Suppose I am giving a small example. We are teaching the children the save water, save water, save water. All the time in the class we are telling. But if the child is going home and doing something to apply his knowledge, awareness, anything he is having or not, he has developed any awareness for that. If the municipality water is coming and flowing every time in the street, side the street, and the child aware the water is wasted, we are wasting the water in this way. If the tap is open in the school, how many children are going and closing the tap? This should be observed. These are the community-based learning. That means how much he is aware about the things happening in the community, that child should be aware of that. And awareness we should develop of the child. So these are all active learning strategies our pedagogies must have. Next is the active collaborative classroom environment. So classroom environment should be very, very collaborative. In which way? It should be dynamic. What do you mean by a dynamic class? What is dynamic class? Energetic class. Class should be energetic. Each and every one. Maybe noisy, maybe disciplined, but class should not be sweeping. So only teacher is telling, child is.
Excuse me, ma'am. Last one, frustrating means for what? Teachers or students?
No. Teachers are asking questions. Sometimes students are not able to answer. So that is here it is indicating that frustrating. Okay. Shouting like this. Here madam you read.
Analyze case studies, keeping journals or logs, write and produce a newsletter, concept mapping.
So concept mapping. So here you see it first. Then only case you prepare. Then assign student roles. Then motivate students. Create strategic documents. Develop educational activities. Then present the solution to the problem. So these are the case study questions. Here are some case study questions. You see, what are the inquiry-based learning? Inquiry-based learning, first is ask the question. Next is investigate. Third is create. Fourth is reflect. Reflect means after discussion you see whether the student is knowing or not, then only your cycle will be completed. That is also one type of pedagogy. Laboratory teaching assumes that first-hand experience in the observation and manipulation of the materials of science is superior to other methods of developing understanding and appreciation. Laboratory training is also frequently used to develop the skills necessary for more advanced study and research. So students must go to the lab for the research-oriented work, so that if they start the learning by doing, then only they can apply their knowledge in a better way. Experiential learning, first concrete experience, then reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, active experimentation. So these are the cycle for experiential learning, concrete experience. Experiential learning, first step is the experience. After that what they have learned, they have to reflective observation. Next is abstract conceptualization, then active experimentation. So these are the experiential learning. Then we have discussed community-based learning. What is it? Community-based learning first is applying academic knowledge and critical thinking. First circle. Second is reflection and assessment, leading to the deeper understanding of the course content. This is the reflection and assessment. Third is collaborative partnership between the college and community. So these are coming as community-based learning. Now, sir, we will